Bear with me. I'm trying to put position this camera so I won't have to sit here and hold it. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm chiming in live here. Car Chronicles, but not really. Something more extended. And I just wanted to kind of have a chit chat while I was sipping on my thing. Y'all know what I do. This is my strawberry lemonade refresher, and I've just now got this from Starbucks. That helps me kind of keep the day going, keep the groove going. But I wanted to holler at you guys, see how everybody was doing. And one of the things I wanted to, excuse me, I'm doing 10 things at once. I wanted to talk about, because there's been a couple of people that has come to me, um, want to know if it's cool or not, or should they, or why is their mate coming at them in this way when they should love them, right? So the questions were, does my man or my woman really love me if they're pretty much bugging me to add someone else into our bedroom? This one person that came at me about it say that it's a constant thing. Every time they turn around, they partner is saying, hey, I thought you said you was going to do this for me. I thought you was going to go ahead on and make me happy. Show me that you care. Bring this other woman into the sack with us. This is what I want to do. This is what that would turn me on. This would just be something to satisfy me. It's my fantasy. It's my this that. So she had been pressured about it, and she didn't really know if she was doing wrong or right by accepting, his wishes and going head on with it, or telling him hell no. Uh-uh. Y'all got to excuse me, I got my window down and there's conversation out here. So you hear a little backdrop, but I hope you can really hear me still because it's kind of warm in this car. And I need to be able to get this message out and breathe at the same time, okay? So, yeah, so she was kind of going there with mixed emotions and confusion. It was like, well, I don't know. I love them, but I don't love them that much to be adding some other drama into the situation. Hey, what's up, TOD? What's happening? And, I'm just going to, everybody got their own way of doing things. Everybody got their right and wrong as far as their relationship is concerned, right? It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else and what nobody else is saying. Hey there, Rosie. Um, it's about you and your mate. So if you and your mate is in agreement to doing some things like that, then get down with it, right? But I'm gonna tell you, 9.5 times out of 10, people end up losing out in the end when they do that. And what I mean about that is they end up adding this other piece of the puzzle, this other person in, whether it's another man or another woman. And most men, I'm not going to say all, but most men have a situation with you sitting up there talking about you want to add another man in the bedroom. He's like, I know. That's too much. That's too close. I ain't trying to do all that. Excuse me. No, 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 right? But then they turn around but if you want to, dear, if you want to have a woman, that's fine. We can do that. But I ain't doing no dude. So anyway, so the man is putting the pressure on the woman and say you go ahead on and do it. A lot of times what happens is it gets to be really a good thing. for this woman that has went there with another woman. And you risk or chance, and it's some where this has happened. Um, hey, hey, hi everybody, Russia in the house, what's up? I just love it when y'all come through here and check out the little videos and be a part of this grown folk talk. 'Cause this is what it is. This is what we do. We talk about grown folk scenario and situations on my channel here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let somebody else know that we do it and it ain't no pun intended. It's just real live talk, okay? But back to what I was saying, a lot of times what happens is, you get into a situation where, especially a man who wants to have another woman in with his woman, you risk taking a chance that your woman may get caught up. Um, this is grown folk talk, or just a talking grown up. I'm a grown up and I'm talking, but this is grown folk talk too. So it's a win-win, Casey. However you want to flip it, dip it, however, that's what's up, right? So, thank you for joining in. A lot of times, like I was saying, they run into the situation where they end up losing out on their relationship because that person ends up getting into this person that you have allowed to come into your space. And who can you be mad at? You can't sit up and say, "Well, I'm pissed off at you. You wrong. You deceived me. You did." No, 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 no. You were the one that was pressing to have this done. So this woman, and it was two. It was a woman who came to me saying, "What should I do? My dude is like really on me." And it was a guy who came to me and said, "What should I do? My girl is really on me about having a dude." Now, he was absolutely no. It ain't happening. She gonna have to just get with some other person. Cause I ain't for that. She can bring a woman, but I ain't for that. Now I think that's being a little selfish, me myself, but either you ain't for it or you for it. It shouldn't be she can bring a woman, but she can't bring a man, or you can bring a man and can't bring a. You either down on both sides of the coin or you're not. You just not with it. Because what's good for the goose is always good for the gander, right? So anyway, you run this risk, and what is that saying? Pig. And what about if the other woman is the neighbor? Boing, 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 boing. you know, wow. You done took me off course with that one. Don't be telling me to shut up, talk bike Z's or whatever. If it ain't for you, baby, get off the channel, okay? You just fought it. Well, do something about that. Anyway, you about to get blocked because you're doing too much with that. So anyway, if it's a neighbor, now if it's a neighbor, okay, first off, let me, Casey, which is why women should avoid multiple partners because their emotional strength can also be their heel, attaching strongly due to the strong emotional moments. Agree or not? I agree. I agree. I don't, women, we are much more emotional. We are extremely emotional than men. So, depending on what's going on in that union, depending on if there is an emotional attachment with this other woman that comes into or another man, and say something is missing in your relationship and you become emotionally attached to this other person, not only emotionally but physically and mentally, then you got a problem. Houston, we got a problem, right? Because there's nothing worse with allowing your partner to get emotionally tied up with someone else. Sometimes it's not a going back at all, right? So let's get back to this neighbor thing. Now, the neighbor thing is really, um, Wow, that's a deep one because I have known someone who was in that situation. The person lived across the hall from them, across the hall, and they started with just little subtle, "How you doing? Hi, you look nice today. Hey, how you doing?" Da, 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 right? And let me go on and get this person off. Okay, timeout, timeout for that one. Okay, I'm about to block them when I get through with this. But anyway, this person ended up just small little gestures. How you doing? What's happening? Um, yes, he will be blocked, and I'm trying to find a way to do it while we're actually in the middle of this video. But I did put him on timeout, and I will take care of that. Don't make no sense. You can't. Before we get to the neighbor thing, you can't just. This is grown folks. This is mature talk. This is my channel. This is the way I do it. Okay. I appreciate everybody that's coming through. We talk about real. I talk about real topics, and I welcome anything that you want to feed in that's real as well. But the disrespect, the fun and games, the jokes, the childish behavior, all that, I'm not going to have that. I'm not having that. I don't want that. I don't need that. And no one else that's on um, my page needs to be subjected to that. So, boy, bye. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. So anyway, go back to the neighbor. So you start off with these gestures. Well, how you doing? Hi, you look nice. Da, 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 da. And you know, you got these situations going on at home. Perhaps your partner is pressuring you to bring someone in, or perhaps you have disconnected somewhat on a physical basis, and you're the one saying you want to add someone in, and before you know it, things happen. You suggest this person that you are establishing this connection with, right? You start establishing this type of I'm trying to get back to the where we at, y'all. Okay. Okay, I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. Bear with me. So anyway, you end up excuse me. You end up getting emotionally tied up with this person, right? So you bring them on in, and then you got a connection that goes beyond the emotional connection, but it's the physical. And then it becomes mental, and you can talk to them more, and you like what they do to you, okay? You like it. And that's what creates the problem. And women being emotional, it's all bad. And you know what? Messing with somebody at work, messing with somebody that live in your whole zone, your neighbor, your apartment complex, don't do it. Don't do it. And especially don't do it and you're in a relationship with somebody. Lord have mercy. How you gonna be coming home to your boo every day? Hey boo, what's going on, baby? Da, da, da. And then you go down to the laundromat and you and Susie or Billy is sitting on the spin cycle. Folks do that too. They meet in the laundry room while the clothes is on spin. Somebody's propped up on that doggone machine while it's you know how I do when it's on spin and they doing their thing. I ain't trying to make light or fun or nothing, but it's real life. It happens, right? This doggone stuff happens. So why are people so into wanting to drag somebody else into their bedroom? Deal with who you got. Deal with who you got. If there is a disconnect, excuse me, y'all. Let me bring up these glasses a little bit. If there is a disconnect with who you are with, then you need to try to figure out how to connect, or you need to disconnect totally. Okay? There's no reason why you should be wanting 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the bedroom with you. For what? Some people say it's exciting. Variety is the spice of life, or whatever. You still cheating. That's a topic for another day, but that ain't that cheating? You are committing adultery if you're married. And if you're in a relationship, you're cheating because you're letting somebody else Google in your Google juice. Really. So I don't know why people think it's just okay to do. It ain't okay to do. And then don't stop trying to get on every talk blog and every situation you can, repeating and trying to blame somebody for doing you wrong when you the one pushed the button and wanted to do this in the first place. But you had stipulations. You told your mate, well, let's do it, but you can't get attached to that person. What? How do you know if they're going to get attached or not? How do you know that she or he ain't going to do it better than you or make them feel a certain kind? You know, I had somebody, and I'm just going to keep it grown today. We're going to keep it real because that's what I do. I had a lady tell me she was with somebody for 8 years and never had an orgasm. Never had an orgasm. And then got with somebody after they broke up and had an orgasm the first time and continued to have orgasms with this new person. Man, that's another talk for us. But people connect, okay? And it's a mental thing. What I can't understand is you being grown and you doing the grown and you ain't never had no, I mean, maybe it really happens. You ain't never had no orgasm. Okay, but then you give it to somebody else and then you have one. Wow. That one's deep right there. I ain't heard of that one. That was the first time I had ever heard of that, and I've been around for a minute. So I'm like, damn. Okay, what was y'all doing for 8 years? They didn't even know what it felt like. They had heard about it. They heard about it, and they watched movies about it, and people talked about it. They never experienced about it. That's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy. But anyway, so back to the neighbor thing. And I have lived, years ago when I was young and feisty, I have lived in apartment complexes, and there was some fine brothers up at, whoa, and they had situations, relationships, and every now and then they would be fighting with the partner, the door would close, somebody would be throwing clothes out and this and that, and they would break up and get back together. I knew they had some serious problems, but they was fine as wine, boy, I tell you. That's how you end up losing, getting into that neighbor situation. That's what's going on with that. But anyway, I didn't do it. So don't be judging me. I didn't do it. But I'm going to tell you, they was fine. I ain't going to tell you I didn't. I was like, they broke up. I was single. They broke up. But anyway, don't do it. Don't do it, you guys. Just leave that neighbor stuff alone. Leave adding 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or a donkey in your bedroom with you and yours. If your mate is not pleasing you, you need to be putting that in. Because just think, if somebody else is added in, you know that fire and that energy. I don't know, they say the new is what stimulates and make it feel grand. But okay, work on putting that energy into who you with. All that flipping and stuff you was doing and that variety of things and the way you was doing all that extra stuff, all that extra stuff. But the way you was doing all that with this person, y'all, my glasses is falling off my head, and I know my head is big enough to hold these. I don't know what's going on. Okay. See how I'm shining? It's hot in here, and I got these windows down. But anyway, put all that energy into who you doggone with. You need to be putting that energy. Take your ginseng, your ginseng, your me sing, your she sing, your jaw. And I ain't trying to be funny because I got some ginseng, y'all. The kind in the box, the green, the Pantax. Pantax, I think it is. It's the little vials. I wish I had. Oh, here's one I can show you, an empty one. Show y'all one. Oh, it ain't empty. Can y'all see this? Wait. Can y'all see that? Well, it's backwards. But anyway, it's a little bottle, and it's called Pantax. It's ginseng. And it's like 30 of them come in a box, right? And they these little tubes. They're extracts. They come with a little straw. Slurp on it. I take one every day. And I'm going to tell you, them things work. What they do is they wake up all your senses. They wake up different things in your body. Okay. You just become more awake with stuff. Men and women. And only thing I can say is try it. Just try it. And you can't just try it one time and think that's gonna do it. Get you a whole month, a box, and do one every day, and do it for that month, and see if you see any difference as far as your stamina, as far as your desire, as far as just waking things up. Perhaps some of your stuff had fallen asleep. Perhaps it fell asleep, right? So if it fell asleep, you got to wake it up. Because if you're going to be dealing with anybody else, you got to be awake. Because don't nobody want to deal with nobody sleep, right? I'm just keeping it real, y'all. Let's just talk. Let's just let it flow today, okay? So, therefore, get you some Pantax, ginseng, drink one of them every day, and then get back with me and let me know if it did you any good. Or if you've been using this, let me know what to do for you, okay? But, you guys, message of the day before I get on out of here, I got to go make a quick little run, is, stop trying to put all these folks in your bedroom. And that lady that's coming to me, ma'am, your dude is on you like why don't why it's about doing this, doing this, doing this, doing. And she say she give it to him almost every day. She giving it to her man almost every single doggone day. Do you know? He's a blessed young man. But some of them don't get it but once a year. So he giving it to her. She giving it to him every day almost. She said every now and again they miss a day when she going through her little female cyclically thing. But other than that, every day. And he's still pressuring her about bringing Susie, Elizabeth, Jennifer, Ethel, Lisa Mae, all them in the bedroom. So he can, I don't know, be more stimulated or feel like he got it going. I don't know what his problem is, but boy, bye. Stop that. Quit putting that pressure on that woman. She said she don't want to do that. Then she said he had the nerve to say, well, don't say nothing then if I go ahead on and just, get with a couple of friends myself since you really don't want to be. I think it's time to reevaluate what you got going on, girl. I don't even know how long y'all been together, but it don't even matter because that right there, that's some darkness. You need to get to the light because that ain't happening right there. But y'all think about it. What you think? I want to know. Is it okay to add that extra person or persons in your bedroom with you and your mate if y'all both agree? Or if that's just taboo? No. You're not willing to take a risk of losing your partner, and you're not willing to share your partner because everything you do and some to that person, somebody else is going to do it and may do it better. Okay? So when they get that desire and that twinge and they feel like they want to get with somebody, they may not think about you first. I don't care how much they love you. If that person made them tinkle like that, that's probably who they're going to be thinking about. Yes. Real talk. Y'all think about that one, okay? And that's what your girl had for you today on the grown folk level, all right? And like I said again, always keep the respect. Let's just have some fun. Let's talk about some grown folk stuff. If you in here acting the fool like that one that just got put on, which I'm gonna go in here and get rid of his butt, but just got put on the disappear thing for 48 hours or whatever it was. Look, he need attention. And if you want attention, go somewhere else and get it. This my channel. This my page. And I'm bringing grown folk talking the way I do. So all this little old stupid childish stuff he was trying to throw out here, he got to go to the bathroom, it smell, it stink, this and that. Boy, bye. Goodness. All right, y'all. Have a good day. I'm going to be back at you. Thanks for chiming in today. I'll be back here real soon with another live for you. And check out my shorts. I'm always bringing you something on them shorts, talking about something grown and juicy, okay? But I'll be back with a video real soon. All right, y'all. Bye.